Hello and welcome to Team Fortress TV. You're with me, CommanderX. I'm joined by Admirable and Jon on the stream. We're here tonight to watch 425 against Epsilon in this week 6, I believe, fixture on Viaduct and Snakewater. Obviously Epsilon go into it, big favourites, but obviously with the latest update, which we will probably get to talking about at some point, everything's going to be a little bit mixed up really when we go live. Ads, what are your initial thoughts going into this game?
Yeah, this update is quite interesting. Probably going to be talking at length about it on Fully Charged Europe on Sunday, but in terms of how it's going to impact the outcome of this game, like essentially, it's made demo men weaker. So I suppose by extension of that, every other class is slightly stronger. And Death for 425 is probably their strongest player, like the real linchpin of their team. And now that he's been nerfed, like if you look at the matchup on scouts and soldiers, I feel it could be a painfully quick feat for 425. I think Mike might just run away with it.
Yeah, I think I've also heard team news wise, Kenzie is not available for tonight's game. So 425's other strong player, you sort of standout player in Kenzie, will not be here. So it'll be up to, I'm not sure who's subbing in, but it'll be up to that sub to take on Kyler and Bash.
Is it Butos? I've seen Butos join their roster on the Vanilla TV community events or news thing, you know?
I don't know. I'll try and find out. But also, more bad news on the 425 front. Their warm-up game cancelled and they weren't able to get another warm-up game, so they'll be taking on the almighty Epsilon with no warm-up.
That's quite heartbreaking because it could have been. I know, I know I'll have to sell every game as a potential upset, but it could have been, man. 425 have been the dark horses for sure. Gonna repeat that all season, but like right now they're in third, or I think they got bumped down to fourth after Rocket took a few points, but like they're definitely in playoff contention. They probably weren't expected to win this game anyway, so I think they've done enough this season. I'm trying to remember who their last game is against. Oh, it's against Rocket. Jeez, we're playing them on Tuesday. But like beyond those top two in the table, like it's super close. It's like four teams really chasing after those bottom two playoff spots, third and fourth.
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see. I have got confirmation that Butos will indeed be replacing Kenzie. So I don't know how it's going to affect the comms, obviously. Mainly Ukrainian and Russian team. Now all of a sudden having to comment English, I presume, unless Butos has some hidden Russian language knowledge that he's never brought up before to anyone.
I think Butos might be a cunning linguist, yeah, but I don't even know what language if I speak it. Is it Russian? Because I know like Sam and Bash played for them one day, and I think they actually managed to beat BFF, sorry, Osomniac, in this was some PCW. I remember Sam mentioned it to me, but they must be able to common English pretty effective. Like Dicker's broken English is pretty good. I had him in here for interviews a few times. I'm hoping that it's not going to be an issue, but really, the demo man nerf and the quality of the rest of the players compared to Epsilon's could be too much. We should hype the game up. I'm not saying it's going to be alright, but yeah, it could be alright.
Well, I think what's going to be interesting is I was watching a bit of War's stream earlier, and they were playing Russian mix on Viaduct, and War started off first round, ran heavy the entire round. Epsilon won it, despite the enemy demo man being a demo man. And then they swapped back to the standard sort of 6v6 old traditional demo man. Then lost a round, then swapped back to heavy and won the remaining 2 rounds. So I imagine we might see War on heavy for a lot of this game, maybe particularly on Viaduct, or maybe even on Sniper. War's be capable on both. So as far as options go, I think Epsilon have even more options now after this update.
Yeah, it really seems to simply come down to the damage output. It's like you need that spike damage to take players down or focus players down in TF2. And for me, I'm like trying to think of the most succinct way to describe the issue that's created here. It's like, you have the medic that is this incredibly overpowered class that can heal people continuously and even make them invulnerable to that. Or like the way that it was always paired off is like you had the demo man that was amazing at controlling tiny choke points and putting out this incredible amount of damage, whether like in one massive trap or like continuously with 8 stickies and 4 pipes. Now that you don't have that threat, like that little mini boss in the game anymore, like the team with the medic up is obviously just going to be so strong. Like I really can't see, like I haven't actually played yet, so everything I say is just theory crafting. But it seems to me like the sort of medic advantage is going to be so powerful, especially Uber advantages and stuff are going to be even more powerful. Like a lot of rounds, I feel might just be like decided from one medic dying, whereas before, if you had your demo man up, you could still make something happen. But
it's going to be
remains to be
weird
seen.
to see. Yeah, it depends. I want to see, if what's going to happen to demo man. Like demo man's obviously going to be less effective in itself, but it's just whether it becomes so less effective that something else becomes more viable, whether a heavy or a sniper or something actually become better than a demo man, even if a demo man's doing reduced damage.
Yeah, I could definitely see a sniper or heavy being run. Like, it remains to be seen. Like, I'm not making any judgment call or whatever. I am happy to see how these upcoming tournaments pan out. I hope nobody brings in some sort of pro mod or whatever, just like deal with it.
I think it will distance ourselves too much from the rest of TF2 with a pro mod. It'll. I know,
so like looking at
sounds like the final nail in the coffin if we distance ourselves.
The schedule of games coming up, we've got some incredibly high caliber games. You've got like the end of the season, then playoffs. Then we're going to have like the Twitch Invitational is happening right now. It's going to be another great test bed to see like how impactful this change really is and how teams can deal with it. Then of course there's going to be more show matches I think on Saturday. So like what better time to actually see some big change to the meta and really get a handle on if it is game breaking, and putting up air quotes there. But maybe some people are going to complain and it's coming mid-season and games they played prior to this are going to be accentuating different strengths in various teams, but you knew what you were signing up to when you just agreed to play competitive TF2. It's just strange that Valve decided to spring this on us right now.
It's especially weird when you look even kind of further into the future. Like obviously they have chances to patch it or adjust the nerf, in one way or another. Like I've seen a lot of posts about sort of maybe if they reduce the ramp up time to 1 second instead of 2 seconds, it'd be a little bit more in between, still cutting the demo man's damage off, but not to such an extent. They can still be, the main damage output. But obviously, looking into the future, we've got all the major lands coming up in terms of, I-52 and GXL. It'll be interesting to see what happens, like if these nerfs come to stay. Really, what happens to this change Valve have done.
Yeah, well, we're probably sort of locked in as far as I-52, but maybe after that, are we going to see people, down in tools and saying, I'm not going to play Demo Man anymore? Could it be the end of TF2, doom and gloom? I doubt it. Like, looking at Valve's previous strategy or the reaction, like, quite often they've come out with these big changes and then reverted it to, like, some sort of middle ground in between where it was before and what they initially wanted. So it's like, I don't know. I can't even give a good example of that, but I was just trawling through all the forums today on my phone. It wasn't actually getting a chance to play so far, but I was enjoying the threads, the standard sort of post-update threads. Thanks for your Div4 insight, ETF2L. Get fucked. Yeah, I'm an elitist. What are you going to do about it?
A similar thing happened it was quite interesting watching, obviously E2F2L was very much doom and gloom, whereas over on TFTV, a few of the sort of high-profile Americans came out and just said, it's fine, don't worry about it. It's better. I think like Platinum, maybe Marmaduke, Bloodsire, people like that are all coming out on the plus side of the update, sort of encouraging it. But I don't know if that just comes down, to like how much
it's
influence.
All about what class people play. All the scouts are like, oh yes, this is a great change.
All the pocket soldiers are loving it. Now they're now the most important class, aren't they? Top damage every game, no problem.
Yeah, well they were always in there, but like I just see like this real disparity. It's like anybody who plays at the top level, like Demo Man is incredibly strong, but it's like a problem that's been solved. People know how to deal with the Demo Man. They know like when they should respect them or how they can actually rush him. And like the fact that he is overpowered created like an interesting dynamic that you actually had to use teamwork. Whoa, to get around him. Like, I'm interested to see how it pans out. Like I say, I'm not gonna make any snap judgments, but I mean, there's a lot of people celebrating that Demoman's been nerfed, but really, it's not like it was impossible to play against the Demoman up until this point.
Well, how many Prem games have you seen where you can categorically say, if it wasn't for the Demoman, the other team would have won that, you know? Like, we've seen strong performances from Demoman, but I've never seen... I don't think I've ever really seen a individual in one team play so well that without them, that team wouldn't have won, you know? Like, someone to be that integral to a win of a team. We see a lot more teams based around teamwork and playing together and playing off each other, rather than, you know, just having one star player.
So we're going to see Kata switch up to Soldier. That could be pretty sick. He'd probably be like the greatest roamer of all time with incredibly sick jumps within the space of a month or two.
His feet would never touch the ground at any point. He'd just go a whole game without ever reaching the ground. Hold on, I'm just getting some STV info from Bash.
And the mid fights as well are going to be interesting. Like options for scouts to get aggressive, I reckon, if they want to try and put pressure on a Demoman, or like a Demoman has to play quite passive. I'm going to see what the pros are actually going to do rather than just imagining in my mind here CommanderX. I'm actually on the STV and I do see Butos is here. We've got lots of 425 players, also Epsilon players beginning to join up. The hype is real. We're going to see a 425 upset and everyone's going to blame the update.
I know, obviously, yeah, the biggest thing, I guess, with this game in particular is that the update happened when? Like, a couple of days ago? How, like...
Last night?
Last night, yeah, like, I think Nox didn't come online until, like, it basically came online for PCW, so he didn't even know there was an update until he logged on today to get ready for his game, just to find out everything's changed, or that Demoman's completely changed. So, neither team has really had a chance to prepare. Like, maybe not even get used to the class's new damage, or, you know, how to play with the changes, let alone playing with the changes in a competitive setting. So we might just see chaos and upset.
Yeah, the team that reacts or adjusts to these changes the quickest, or comes up with the new strategy, whether it is heavy, sniper, or whatever, maybe the one to get the points here. Like, I still want to sell it as a potential upset. I know Butos is playing. Sorry, Butos. But he was the super sub that Phoenix blamed for their loss against... was it GG played or 425? I forget. Or they lost the map. He was thrown under the bus on that one. I hope he can deliver today, Butos. All eyes on you, mate.
Are you having problems connecting to the STV, or is it just my game being...
I'm on there, man.
You're on? Okay.
Give
it
you
is
it
just
again,
me
yeah.
then. Hold on.
I even put it in Twitch chat, man. Everybody's in STV except for you, CX.
I'm just going to have to... Maybe if you do the casting, and then I'll just analyse what you've said. And go, the sounds of it.
You read the live stats.
Yeah. I'll cast logs.
Have you successfully launched EF2 today? Could it be an update-related problem? Have you played?
I've not played today. I've been watching... I was at the cinema all day watching films, so...
Oh, that is a tough job.
No, I wasn't working. I went to see films for free.
Oh, nice. Nice. I understand you had internet for CommanderX, but now you're back with us.
Yeah.
Can we expect to see more of CX?
Yeah, I'm back. I'm back for good now. My new internet is installed and marginally faster. So I will be back streaming, gaming, etc., etc.
Heartbreaking that your same-sex life partner / casting partner, Warhurya, is now a playoff contender, man. He's not going to be there.
I was saying to him earlier after watching him play today that it really sucks for him that he's still never going to be the Epsilon Demoman, but at least he gets to be the Epsilon Heavy now.
Oh, wow. I saw he was streaming earlier, actually, but wasn't able to watch it. Have you... his general opinion on nothing? Obviously said he played Heavy, but are all the demo men in unanimous agreement that this is terrible, it's the end of the world, or are they going to give it a go?
I've spoken to Cadus, who was not impressed at all. Cadis was talking, you know, about just being really fed up of this class, except now he's tied into it until after I-52, really, with various teams, well, with BFF. So he's got to deal with that, but now his class has just been changed.
Yeah, that's a little awkward, a little heartbreaking. Oh, we got 12 on the server now, and I heard one team ready up. Could we potentially be going live soon?
Please STV, please STV.
What's it say? Is it denying you, or are you just like waiting? Oh, here's Epsilon Mike messaging as well.
Like, I get in, and then my TF2 just goes, and that was pretty good, I'm just going to close now. That was enough gaming for you today.
I don't know, man. Uninstall all your HUDs or something. And
yeah. Wait,
John is giving us some info here.
I have an old advanced spec and a... Well, I'm on right now. If I don't turn any of the options on, will it work? How long will it work for? I'm literally watching. I'm watching STV right now, John. I'm not saying you're wrong, but you're wrong. Okay, I won't use any of it. I'll just go old traditional, no outlines, no anything.
You're just on old school now, man. Don't touch the mouse, don't touch the keyboard, let STV auto-direct for you.
Don't bring up auto-direct or John's out of a job.
Oh, they're asking, are we ready? I'm going to say yes. Then you're happy, CommanderX, for giving the all...
I'm going to give it a tentative yes.
Alright then, hopefully 90 seconds from now we'll be getting underway.
Alright, cool. Do you wanna venture into a prediction tree?
I will say on this map it will be a decisive Epsilon victory. I'll say 6-1.
I'm gonna go pretty much the same. In fact, maybe I'm gonna go 5-0. Not like a quick 5-0, but a convincing 5-0. Maybe like 20 minutes. I'm
looking forward to an upset on Viaduct, though. I still believe, 425 till I die.
Do you wanna? What's War gonna roll out as? Well, are the demo men gonna be demo men on middle? That's maybe more of a question.
I'll see how they play on Snake, or I'll get a read, get some sort of insight to the demo man mindset, see how frustrated they are, and then.
Isn't it? It's about how much your demo man can keep their cool despite not doing as much damage as they're used to doing.
It should be like a randomizer mod, your weapon stats just get randomly changed every round. Sometimes you roll out, you're the old demo man, sometimes you're the new shit demo man. You have to react on the fly. I keep seeing on the Team Fortress TV threads, and people are like, oh, why don't you adapt? Let's play roll the dice.
why don't you adapt? Everything's random at all points. Oh, I sure hope we start with a medic on this rollout. Damn! No medic on this rollout. Better luck next time.
Indeed. Oh, we've got Tech here as well. He suggested, he was, saying that he might be available for Epsilon for the first couple of weeks after he was confirmed to be joining the roster, but he seems to have played every game, so I'm just going to call him out for being a lying bastard. But I'm glad to see him here. I'm going to be watching the Tech cam on the first mid. Yeah,
I'm gonna keep my eye on if we have any demo men on middle. That's what I'm most interested to see. Are we gonna see the late heavy? How will heavies change mid fights? Will it stifle it up, or will it just mean all the aggression gets out of the way, and then we just end up with two heavies on either side clearing up? I think we're going live though, Ads. Talk me through it.
I am just going to run ahead and see War first, see how he is rolling out. He's going lower, he's going to pick up that kit, but Death's doing the same. Both of them are going to be at middle at exactly the same moment. But War's put a sticky high there, trying to catch the scout. 2 sticks up top, and he's trying to use that 2-second timer. Butos doesn't die to that though, but Bash gets first blood. He's in onto Lippy, the 425 roamer. Nox and Mike playing quite passive there, as they tend to do, those little bitches. But the rest of the team are just streaming forward here on that man advantage. Tick was in deep, but it's Mike who's claiming all the frags here with the 3k on middle as he follows up with that 300 health. Butos last man alive here, new member of the 425 roster, in for Kenzie, but he was unable to do much on that mid. He did get a frag onto Tech, but his medic's gone down. Massive advantage here for Epsilon CX.
Yeah, I mean, it was a big, 2 early frags for Epsilon as well, put 425 on the back foot. They picked War, and then a big kitchen flank from Mike as 425 were falling out just as Dika and Def went down. And now we see Epsilon with a big Uber advantage going into last. They don't have as much demo damage as they normally would, though. Looks like they're coming in from low. We're going to try and focus down the plates. Focusing down the heavy now, but it's not a lot of damage really coming out. They get one pick. But 425 are going to come out to spawn now, and Epsilon don't really have a second pick called for. And now Epsilon going to start the cap, but as soldiers jumping into bomb, Epsilon will get it though. For a second it looked like 425 were able to burst out, but Epsilon just got such dominant position on the high ground, sort of all the way across last. There was nothing 425 could do.
Yeah, I was watching Death there trying to put a few stickies on at the last minute, but that thing isn't going to work anymore. Just spamming sticks on the point, probably not going to even block. Maybe he needs to set them up bite style 2 or 3 points beforehand, but right now Death and War are both just putting down as many stickies as they can. They want to get max damage. Bit of bang for the buck. Tech taking the initiative here straight in onto the combo, but good protection there from Butos, who has shut down Tech. Epsilon are playing this one quite sheepishly because they're 2 down. Bash also getting denied there by Sid Vicious. So Scouts of 425 doing work on this middle CX.
Yeah, I mean, it looked like Tech really opened up the bomb. Some like space for his Epsilon teammates. Got like 3 players down to red health, but Epsilon couldn't capitalize. 425 clean up Tech, followed by Bash and Mike as well, and now they're going to forward. Nox doesn't have Uber yet, he will have it as 425 trying to edge through this left hand side. Taking a bit of spam, but they're going to get through for relatively free. They're going to start the cap. War's going to lead the charge out and try and block. He's now onto Def. Def's not with the Uber though, they've actually Ubered behind War and Nox. War and Nox might be completely trucked here. Such great pipes from Warner to juggle the Ubered soldier. It's not going to matter at all though, as he gets absolutely crushed after the Uber, after he runs out of pups. And now 425 want to take this 5v5 onto last. They're trying to come in the left hand side, but Tech's going to dome Deke. And without the heals, 425 are just going to have to run away. Bash gets a kill on Butos as well, couldn't find his way out. And now Epsilon with the heal advantage are just going to stream forward.
Yeah, that was pretty incredible from War. He like surfed out on a sticky, killed Death, then came in and hit like, I think it was 4 pipes in a row.
I think it was,
1 on the demo and then 3 on the soldier or whatever that was, but pretty incredible there. Who needs stickies anyway?
Yeah, 100% pipe accuracy, no need for stickies anyway. Don't even bother whipping it out. Epsilon nearly out Uber here, and it's like they want to go straight away. Tech's trying to peek from the low ground. They're trying to find a way in here. I think, where are they coming from? The low ground still? The players are jumping in from other sides. They're going to come off catwalk now. They do lose Bash early on, and I think a scout might have gone behind him for a back cap or to flag. Tech trying to leave a charge, but he's getting spam back as well. Nox is really defensive right now. They're not really using this Uber advantage at all. Mike's going to go down, and now Epsilon's going to have to back out. Really indecisive play for Epsilon team, and their back cap has started. And this is very uncharacteristic from the Epsilon team.
Yeah, Mike went and took that fight against Sid Vicious, the 425 scout, in the lower lobby, their own lobby, and he actually ended up sucking out. Well played to Sid there, taking down the greatest player in TF2 history. Right now, though, he is dead, and 425 are going to go in and force the charge here. Dicker's in the safety of the Sorin. Actually, it looks like they want to push here. This could be dangerous because they're actually 2 players down. Even though they have that Uber advantage, they're continuing to hemorrhage. There's maybe the wrong call there, and now they're being flanked. Look, Epsilon, Bash, and Tech's circling around behind them. Mike's in from the front as well. Dicker's running for his life, and he won't make it out as Tech picks up 2 more frags on mid.
Yeah, I mean, it looked like 425, like the Roma, or was it Lippy? And got the force nice and early, but then they got their flank got completely destroyed. Tech and Bash completely dominant. Epsilon trying to come straight out onto the respawning 425 players right now, but they're not going to get any frags. But Epsilon forced them all the way back, and the heals are only just arriving as Tech does a really unnecessary skip jump to launch himself really high in the air. And Epsilon on the Uber advantage again. They were clinical last time. Looks like they want to go lower again. Looks like it's going to be a scout demo man. They're harassing the demo man a little bit. Here they come lower. Kyler's going to lead for charge. Both scouts actually. They're going to try and get onto the heavy. The heavy is going to be forced back. Meanwhile, Mike is getting frags. Kyler's picked up 2 with his Uber. And now the 425 players, there's only 3 of them left and 6 Epsilon players to take down. Deke is going for sword. He gets 1 sword, but he will not get the Uber in time. Now just a scout left. Gets absolutely wrecked by Mike by the direct rocket, and that's 2-0 to Epsilon.
Yeah, the double scout Uber proving very effective there on last when people can't really run away from you. They just shredded those Russians, and even the players that tried to go behind got cleaned up. Like say, Mike doing work there. But on to the third middle here, Epsilon 2-0 at 24 minutes left on the clock. Both them and men doing nothing here, setting up sticky traps. This is TF2, baby.
Yeah, it looks like both teams playing pretty passive so far. Both soldiers from Epsilon got high ground. It looks like a scout's going to try and initiate for Epsilon here, trying to cause a distraction and get a set up that bomb for Tech. He's going to come in pretty deep, but he will go down before he gets any frags. But he's forced him back quite far now. Bash is going to get behind and kill one. Meanwhile, the aggressive player from 425 and Epsilon is going to get cleaned up. And now it's like 425 want to still try and do something, but they really don't have a lot of health between them. Butos on 4, Def on 6. And I think is Sid Vicious a spawner, or is he's just falling back as well? Now Epsilon are going to come forward on his left-hand side with full Uber. 425 need a big moment from someone here to force it. They still don't have heals, and Epsilon are getting CP2 for free. And so far, Epsilon are 100% on their Uber advantage last push conversions.
Yeah, they have been just not really making many mistakes here. Oh, there's a little bit of pressure onto Nox. I don't know what damage he caught. It was a sticky trap. He was down to red health there, but he's now picked up a couple of med packs and he will be ready to go. They got plenty of time here, big Uber advantage, but slowly but surely that is slipping out of their fingers. So they're moving forward here. They're going to push from the shutter door here on the right hand side on the attacking perspective. Looks like they're going to go with 2 soldiers this time, and they're coming up against heavy weapons guys. Soldier like gets air shot there just off the Uber, but they still have good health as the heavy goes down and the Uber is about to fade. 425 look unsure as to exactly what they're doing. There's 8 stickies on the point here though from Death. He's just holding on for dear life. He wants someone to commit to the point so he can actually get some damage done with stickies. Fight is continuing here. No one's really committing to the point. Epsilon back off towards the left then. Regroup with the heals, come in and out a few easy picks there on 425 here now. Finding themselves 3 on 3, but the spawns aren't coming in for another 5 seconds as Bash gets the frag on to Dicker. Death is going to get isolated as well. And Sid Vicious has a mammoth task here. He's buying time on the point, but it won't be long enough.
Yeah, he just about manages to trade with Bash. But yeah, Epsilon just kept the numbers advantage during that whole push, and when 425 they were able to get very, but they really didn't get enough frags with it. And Epsilon stayed healthy, fell back, and dominated the repush with just better focus for isolation. Bash, like focusing down a target and helping get the pick. They're going to another middle. Death's going to take the early sticky, but it doesn't really do any damage now, so he's still going to be fine for health. 425 getting pretty aggressive right now. Both soldiers on them trying to get far forward. Here comes the counter aggression from Epsilon though. Bash was trying to cause a distraction, but he goes down, but Spam will take down Deacon. 425 really just need to go aggressive now to see what they can get, but they don't really have the health as those 2 weak players get forced off. Scout's going to try and come in. I know it's taking the one-on-one, but Mike ruins that one-on-one by cleaning that up. Tech's going to go down, and there's only 30 health apiece on the 2 remaining 425 players, so they are just going to have to back off, as it looks like War might try and catch out Death. Don't know if they know he's only on 30 health. They're just going to take slowly at Epsilon.
Yeah, they're in the driving seat here. They just seem to want to remain in control, and like looking at the 425 mid strat so far, they just seem to be sitting back and hoping they can pick off the aggressive Tech or Bash or whatever, but the last 2 attempts at playing defensive, they've lost their medic to Bash the first time and then to Spam or something against the wall there.
Yeah, like Bash keeps going in, and it takes him forever to kill Bash, even if he's not direct damage. He's taking forever to die, but the Epsilon running against his Pyro, and his Pyro's done a lot of work so far. Sid Vicious will eventually go down. Lippy's going to get domed as well, and Epsilon should still be okay. We've got a lot of players right now. They have gone out heavy, but Deacon's not going to be close enough to. We were only on 75%, and Epsilon extending it to a 4-0 lead. And 425 really, I think they just need to take the game to Epsilon more, like commit to this aggression. Like they're sort of doing a half-hearted aggression where they only fight for the top ground rather than pushing across the point with it as well.
For your prediction to come from this next round needs to last about 20 minutes.
9 minutes, 43-second round coming in right now. Here we go. Both soldiers, teams sending one soldier pretty aggressive. Epsilon actually going to commit both people. Dika and a bunch of other 425 players just get wrecked. Epsilon are winning the fight on both sides of the field right now, defensive and offensive. And now a scout's flanking Death, but it doesn't even matter because Tech's already taken him down. And this does not look like a 9-minute and 40-second round.
This it's going to be a quick one, all right. They, like you said, their conversion rate from winning mids and having those uber advantages has been 100% so far, so I don't expect anything less here. Probably another decisive Epsilon push coming up, an imminent victory perhaps. Time will tell.
Spy on the medic right now, but both scouts had sorted it out, and Kyler's going to claim the domination frag onto Sid Vicious, making it free for him. And now they're going to come with that double scout uber, a chance for Kyler to pad his stats a little bit more. They're both going to focus down the heavy right now. Kyler's going to take that one. Now one scout's going onto the medic. Both soldiers have jumped into the demo man have arrived from Epsilon as well. Nox will go down thanks to Shayu, but it might be too little too late. The Epsilon players are trying to get on the point right now. Lots of pipe damage coming in. Def has hit so many pipes in this last fight, but there were just too many Epsilon players and too much health. And Kyler and War are going to cap the final point, and that's going to be 5-0 in just under 12 minutes.
Decent. We did fear the worst, and I suppose we'll wait till the interviews afterwards to see how the team's feeling, but can't help but feel that 425 are definitely missing that nerf sticky damage to even get any sort of foothold in those mid fights.
Def got out damaged by 4 of the Epsilon players. Yeah, only dropping 303 on Demo Man, which really isn't that impactful at all from formerly the most powerful class. We see Mike top damaging with 401 a minute. Warrior just behind him on about 400 a minute. So 400 a minute isn't too bad for a Demo Man, really. War's still finding a way to put out the damage.
Yeah,
interesting
that's
to see.
true, actually.
It's I'm just looking at his damage. You know, you can get like a weapon breakdown of damage, and it's looking a lot closer to 50-50 than it's normally about 70-30 in favor of sticky launcher in general. But War seems to be much closer to 50-50, and Def's is 60-40, but 60% for the grenade launcher and 40% for sticky. Sort of a complete reversal of the normal you already see from Demo Man. It's really interesting how I guess the Demo Men are just, adapting, just using pipes more and just relying on their pipes more. And when you get players who can hit pipes, maybe they'll be able to make up the difference. I don't know. I'm just spooling here.
Yeah, interesting as well. Like in terms of deaths, it was obviously with a 5-0. It's always hard to get any real insight from the logs, but the deaths. 425 leading the chase there, but Nox only dying once, no pressure on him really whatsoever. Kyler 1 death as well. Yeah,
Nox's death was in that final push as well. That's when they killed Nox. So he only died when the game was won, basically, at the end of the last push. Yeah, Kyler dying once. Kyler's kill assist to death ratio was 20. Pretty decent.
I think Raymond had a perfect game at the start of the season. Again, like a map where he didn't die once. So, Nox, please try harder. Need those 0 deaths. But yeah, Bash and Tech seem quite effective as a force of aggression on the mids anyway. I know, like, obviously they died them, but they were like going in there, and like those 2 players alone were like taking up the attention of 425 players. And
yeah, Bash especially, like they killed Bash every time, but it always took them like a good 10-15 seconds of mid, so it just allowed War, Mike, Kyler, when you look at their stats, it kind of explains why Bash and Tech did have to die so much. But even when we say die so much, they still died less than the other team.
It's all relative. They were taking one for the team there. All those deaths were deaths that Nox didn't have to endure. Nobody wants Nox to die because he just started crying. French. Only